welcome in on a Saturday. Dude. Freaking Saturday, dude. So we're going to be doing a little bit of the, boring stuff today. So I do apologize. But first of all, we got something in, y'all. Yes, sir. Blueberry. And that's what we are going to be dipping on today. And we're going to be having some of that. Yes, I have an extra can in my mud jug ready to go. So good, dude. Regarding blueberry, or blueberries, I should say, a particular sports host has said that famous word today, well, not today, but, on air. And, well, I figured let's talk about it. And we have gotten not very far, but, listen, it's all about the slow process over here. So let's do that. But today, we have another person hopping on the bandwagon for the Detroit Lions. Kind of particular regarding this since he's changed his tune a little bit. And that is what I like to see. So do me a favor, before we hop into today's topic, if you have not checked out the last video, we did the little switcheroo, if you will. No topics. I just babbled for a little bit. But of course, on top of that, check out the last video, hit the like button, subscribe, and do it for the Lions, man. Because we're talking Lions today. And, I mean, why not? Because football is oxygen. But ESPN's Stephen A. Smith went on to say, Detroit Lions, my surprise team to challenge Eagles in the NFC. Okay, so here is the dealio. Okay, because first of all, I'm interested to see how well this is going to go for Philly. Now, look, if you have ever heard me talk about Philly, you guys know I love Howie Roseman, the GM of the Eagles. I mean, the guy is just a witch. He has created one of, if not, the best roster in football. Um, so here's the deal. I want to see how it works out with Philadelphia. Now, I do agree with the take, but let me go ahead and tell you this. They lost 7 or 8 defensive starters. Now, do not get me wrong, they've got young guys coming in, but when you lose starters, it impacts teams differently. And I want to see how that meshes. But I do want to make that point before we even get into the platter, if you will. There are big expectations for the Detroit Lions this season. Duh. They are the NFC North favorite. Also, duh. But should they pick... Does this guy even know how to write, first of all? But should they be the pick? There we go. Maybe I just can't read. Excuse me. But should they be the pick as the surprise team to challenge the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC? Now, I have said this. Y'all are more than welcome to jump on with me. But I am expecting 11 wins, the NFC North, and a home playoff game. That's my prediction for this season. The point is, Stephen A. said yes on ESPN's First Take show. Quote, I will openly admit it's just the prisoner of the moment because we saw how they ended, wait for it, last season and how they ruined Green Bay's aspirations of going to the postseason. Quote, we saw Jared Goff. Oh, cue the Goff haters. Hit the like button if you're a Goff hater. No, actually, I'm kidding because you're not welcome here. Goff haters are banned. But we saw Jared Goff throw 29 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, completed about 65% of his passes. The team believes in him. They got elevated. They've got an elevated level of confidence. This is I am driving all over the place. I apologize. This is a quarterback that quarterbacked in the Super Bowl a few years back. Their offense was top 5 last year. I expect them to do similar things offensively this year. And I like that expectation. I really do, because I think Jared Goff is going to be even better this year. You've got Amon-Ra, you've got Sam Laporta, you've got Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. I mean, I gotta tell you, this offense, dude, gnarly. Let me pause this so I don't miss anymore. Quote, defensively, let's see what they have with Aiden Hutchinson and those boys. Let's see what they can do defensively because they got a lot to prove. Because they were the 28th ranked defense last year. I get all of that. But I'm just looking at the upside for the Lions. I like the coach Campbell. Let's see what they do. Close quote. So I like it. I like the fact that this team is getting national praise. And we talked about this a little bit in the Hard Knocks 2.0 video. Listen, I'm different than most when it comes to it because, let's be fair, I like the mentality of lean right into it. If your gut is telling you something, you lean right in with it, right? And that's how I believe more people should be regarding this team. Now, as far as the defense goes, y'all already know I'm an Aiden fanboy. I love Aiden, man. His swagger, the sack celebration. Plus, the guy is just a beast. You've got James Houston. You've got Rodrigo. You've got Derek Barnes, the spring standout. Look, I think there's a lot of potential for this season on really both sides of the ball. And the thing is that this is what you longed for as Lions fans. You longed for the fact of getting the national media on board, getting the local media on board, getting people excited to watch the Lions and not just crap all over your team, as the lazy folks like to do. But look, I'm excited for it. And I just want to know your excitement level this season on a scale of 1 to 10. I got to be honest with you. If it wasn't for what I do for a living, I'd probably still be at a 7 or 8. I mean, job-wise, you know, it puts me at a 10. But I want to do a early season, you know, little projection here. I want to hear how excited you are. Look, I think there's a lot to be excited about. You know, I have been the guy who has been shouting from the rooftops, basically, that you have some major headlines heading into this story, or heading into this season, heading into this story. Sweet Jesus, come on. But no, I think you find out this year if Dan Campbell is the guy that is going to lead this team in the foreseeable future. You've got the Jared Goff contract situation, which I would believe it is going to start primarily probably week 1. We all know, you know, we're taking on Kansas City week 1. It is David versus Goliath, week 1. And that's where we are at with it. The defense, Stephen A. is absolutely correct. They've got a lot to prove. You've heard a few of the defensive players talking about they've got a lot to prove this season. There is a lot to it. And to me, if you are going to be excited, I highly believe in the fact of that this defense is going to be a lot better. And I know that's probably hard to say for some after the draft. But you look at Brad Holmes' strategy. You've got the storyline with Ben Johnson, who I believe is going to be rumored all off-season next year to be a head coach. And when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it and we'll talk about it. But I absolutely believe in the fact of that you have these storylines, and I think that the bigger point is what can this team be capable of? Because he's absolutely right. This team does believe in Jared Goff. I believe this team believes in Dan Campbell. We brought it up last year, talking about the fact that this team has not once laid down for Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell always has these guys ready to go in a position to go out on that field and have a chance to win the game. And I think a lot's going to be on Dan Campbell this year. And I'll just tell you right now, yeah, I do think he's the man for the job. I think certainly as of right now, based on the strategy, based on how we've seen certain picks pan out, I do believe that we can agree there's probably a storyline with Brad Holmes. Look, I think he's the GM of this team for the foreseeable future. So there is a lot to like about this team. I do worry a little bit about the aspect of re-signing so many of your own guys. But at the same time, if they believe in their guys, then I'm going to believe in what they're doing. And at the end of the day, it is going to come down to wins and losses. And as far as week 1 goes, I am going to give you a shot. I think it's the laziest thing ever to just say, well, they have no shot. I think that is just the laziest opinion out there, quite frankly. So, but look, there's a lot to like about this team. You should have some concern, as every fan base should, but at the same time, you do have to look at it from a point of, okay, it's a new season. The draft picks are going to contribute. I was going to do one on the Jack Campbell thing. I'm not really all that worried about it. It's funny. I'm already seeing the posts and articles being written. Are Lions fans setting themselves up for disappointment? Such high expectations. Guys, let me just go ahead and put a full stop. Absolute needle scratch. Full stop here. Okay? Guys, it's okay to have expectations in your teams. As a fan, you should have expectations. Because if you don't, then why are you a fan? And as far as setting yourselves up, I don't think that's the case. I think it's... I laugh at those articles. Because I just find them so entirely laughable. If you believe in your team, then don't let anybody tell you different. I mean, I'm not going to go as far as some people do and say, oh, well, they're just fair weather. What does that even mean? The point is that, look, with San Fran, we don't know who the QB is going to be. That's a problem right off the top. Now, as I said, I want to see how it meshes in Philly. I have no reason to doubt Philly. But at the same time, when you lose 7 or 8 starters, unless if you are one of the very, very few teams in the NFL, and there's maybe one, and I would say that's Kansas City, who could handle that smoothly and it wouldn't be a problem. I want to see how it all meshes. But yes, that is a problem. And look, we lost some guys due to the gambling situation. But the point is that every team reloads, every team gets better in the offseason. And, you look at last year, and the secondary was a big worry for fans. Brad Holmes went out and remade the entire secondary. I mean, I'd like to think that some of these moves, if not all of these moves, are going to pay off. And the thing is that I would comp this a lot to like life. Is that if you don't believe in yourself, people are just going to take you for a ride. It's really the same thing as being a fan. If you don't believe in your team, what's the point? Now, you can be critical of your team. But you're a fan again because why? But every team has flaws. Every team gets better. And I do think, based on the strategy that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have, I do believe in the fact of this team is going to be a lot better. You don't just go from 1-6 to 8-2, I believe it was, in the last 10 games by coincidence. And look, I think there's leaders in that locker room. I talked about it in the Jared Goff video. This is Jared Goff's team. I think Jared Goff is a leader. And look, I think for me personally, I see this team improving. And if this team improves, then we are in for a ride. And the other thing is that you don't just get put on the season opener by accident. Roger Goodell is not in his office drinking a Chardonnay because, oh, hey, let's put the Lions on the opener. No, that's not what Roger Goodell is doing. The league believes in you. You have people believing in you, not just in your fan base. And media. You have a lot of people behind you. And that is something that I think is going to pay off in the end. I do. So I just want to know your excitement level. As I said, if it wasn't for what I do for a living, along with this, I'd probably still be at a 7 or 8. But putting it all together, I'm at a 10. So let me know what you guys think, because I think this could really turn into a nice discussion. Let's talk about it. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, go check out the last video, and I appreciate every single person who watches, who likes, comments, all that good stuff. Thank you guys again, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.